want more. We want more. Can I clip this on you? Which one is it? There. Is it clippable? Gail, thank you for that. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Hi, everyone who's watching. Not only are all your students here, but we've got people from Chile, France, England, America. They're up. I know. I was impressed with that. Or they're up late. Can I just clip this on you?
Sure.
And then you got a pocket you can put that in. It's quite heavy. Can you introduce us to your wonderful team?
Yes, our violinist today is Joseph Genualdi, who is the professor of violin at UMKC, and Kay Kim, a pianist, collaborated with me for many years.
We know Kay Kim because she played for your peak performance.
That's correct. That's correct.
Symposium here. That's
right.
where we met. And you guys play together? Do you play together often?
We've been playing the Brahms Horn Trio together since let me see, I gotta get this right. August of '83.
Oh!
Before you were born.
Thank you. Oh. What are you laughing at? Hey!
I thought I was on a vacation. I went to this beautiful music festival, and I sat down, and I'm on vacation. And he opens up with this phrase. I went, oh, I'm not on vacation anymore. Yeah.
Where were you at this
In
point?
Skaneateles, New York.
Skaneateles?
New York.
I want to live there.
It's on one of the Finger Lakes in New York State, and it's a beautiful festival, 4 weekends, and it's still continuing today. So I think we were like one of the first years we were there. You were there at the first year, I think.
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
It was quite a while ago.
Yeah.
You have a memory like an encyclopedia.
Well, I remember that because I remember how old my daughter was. See, that's how you.
That's how you.
I remember that. Yeah.
So we have quite a lot of people watching. Apparently, have you guys been sharing it with everyone and everything?
Oh, you have.
Yes, they've been very good. They've been briefed. We have live horn hangouters. And we also have lots online, and there's a lot of questions coming in. And what I basically thought we'd do, this is all completely spontaneous, because Tim and I are a little bit horn hangouted out after back-to-back hangouts yesterday,
Right,
but we
right.
couldn't miss out this opportunity to see you
thank
guys.
you.
So maybe we could sit down and see
Sure.
some of the questions, what's going on. Would you guys would probably like a coffee break at this point. But before you go, I don't know,
Well,
can
do
you...
you need to know things about mouthpieces or valve oil?
About your hand position while you...
Yeah, all of that.
But actually, you know what? It's called the Brahms Horn Trio, but I sometimes think we have the easiest part.
Oh, for sure.
Because the violin part, but also the piano part, they're incredibly difficult. I mean, is the horn an easy instrument to balance too?
But that's just what people call it, right? I mean, that's what he called it.
He called it the trio für Klavier, Violine and Waldhorn. That's true. So for piano, violin, so it's in order of difficulty.
That's very good.
It's actually very good. He's the first person to actually point that out. We horn players did not think of that.
No.
It's our trio. We're just so happy to have a nice piece. Oh, and look, Schumann was the publisher. Georg Schumann.
Yeah.
But don't you think the balance back then was very different? Because the piano was very much smaller
Much
and
quieter.
lighter and quieter.
Yeah.
And you would have all gut strings and the natural horn.
Yeah.
So the balance probably he was writing it for those instruments.
Because when the piano gets going in the last movement, you know, we have to come up with the goods to even be heard, and you're right up there in the high, in the high register,
Right.
and yeah, it's quite.
It's very different.
It's very different, but I like playing it. Have you played it on the natural horn?
I practice it on the natural horn, but I have not brought it out to publish.
No, I am not doing that either. I'm definitely not doing that either. It's
But
fun.
I understand there's a lot of phrasing that can be different because of what would have happened.
But it is, do we know for sure that he wanted the natural horn?
Yes.
We do.
Because he wrote letters to Clara Schumann.
Naughty
that are
man.
published. That he was not actually playing it with the Louis brothers, like she was playing this piece with the Louis brothers in her letters back to him, and that they refused to play natural horn, where he played piano and had a natural horn player play, and he preferred that.
Gail, is it true you have a picture of Brahms playing the horn? Can we find that somewhere?
I will
We'll
find it. I will find it for you. Yes, Dave Kaminga from Minnesota sent it to me many years ago. And he's sitting in the middle with other horn players.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Oh, gosh.
So he knew. I mean, it's too bad that I think in modern day we don't see Waldhorn written up more often.
Waldhorn in German means forest horn.
That's right.
And we still say in German, I say we, I feel like an honorary German sometimes as well. I dream in German now. That's a sign that you've been there a long time. Nein, nein, nein. Waldhorn is the German word for a horn.
Yes.
You know, and you have a Jagdhorn, which is a hunting horn, but Waldhorn is our French horn.
Right.
So,
Horn.
so that's a horn, French horn. Yes. So, there are arrangements of it for cello and viola. I've heard of this as well.
I've heard it with viola.
Yeah. And what do you think? Can we hear a whoa going
no.
on in here? Whoa.
I did not like it in the fact that it didn't have the colors.
But this goes to a very serious problem. That was for house music, because people actually played chamber music at home. It was a very popular, lots of families did it. So, and it also was good marketing that, this could also be played on your viola or your cello, and many pieces were published that way. And I don't think it usually means that the composer thought that he's suggesting that's how it should be done in a concert.
Yeah.
But it was so much about really intimate, non-commercial situations. And sure, you could still play this piece. You don't have to have a horn player.
But it's a lot nicer,
But there's
I
tons
think.
of those.
Of course, and it needs that dark. It needs that. It needs the Jagdhorn, the hunting horn at the end. It needs in the slow movement that wonderful dark color. Yeah, I think it's a shame. I've heard it on a cello. It was actually quite nice, but it wasn't at all Brahmsian, horny, whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I'm standing this close to you so that my microphone can
Oh,
hear you.
I got you.
So
Yeah.
we've only just met, but I just wanted them to be able to hear you.
I didn't know if I was supposed to talk, but
We're
That subject,
thrilled
I
to have.
think about
That's fantastic. No, that's really. What are the challenges for? What would you say as a violinist to the horn player when you're rehearsing it? Because you were very well behaved here, and you didn't. You just played for us. But what are your wishes as a violinist for this piece? What can we horn players do to make your job easier? It's a good question. I just thought of it just now.
well, I'm very spoiled because of this woman in particular. So I just don't even know what I would do, for instance, if the horn player was too loud.
Never.
I've never had that problem.
Because you're playing with one of the greatest chamber musicians of all, yeah.
Of course.
Hey, we could really hear that in the rehearsal just now. Shut your ears, remember, we're going to go to the compliments. The balance is really incredible. Gail is phenomenal. I know she can play like 20 times louder than that, but she keeps it all in the proper setting, and it seems to, you guys seem to know instinctively how to
It sort of goes the other way. Sometimes she says, couldn't you play that a little softer?
That's a big compliment.
I guess so, yeah.
But it's a tough piece for you violins. Which is the most difficult movement for the violin? Is it the last movement with all that?
I don't know, because I really played it a lot.
Yeah.
So mostly it's just a great pleasure. Yeah.
And do you breathe with the horn player?
I try to. I've learned a lot about that from Gail. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And my breath is because of his bow.
Your breath is that's a tongue twister.
Breath
Your
is because of the
his
bow. Yes.
So you follow his bow and breathe with it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's helped my horn playing immensely because of following his bow, because he has a wonderful bow arm. And to take a breath and release like he does. So tonight we'll rehearse a little bit tonight and make sure our articulations are exactly together without the piano so we can really hear.
When's the concert?
Friday.
Friday. I wish we were here. We'd come and
Friday?
live stream it. Friday? You got
Can
time
you
on
make
Friday?
it?
Oh, whoops.
I'm not just ignoring you, but you wanted to sit in the. Can I just ask? There are a lot of notes.
Yes, there are.
I'm coming this side of you, if that's okay. A lot of notes, and does it make? Would you advise us horn players to play this piece with the lid up or halfway? What would you advise?
Definitely lid up, because there's a lot of inner voices that they need to hear. And it's with pianists, actually, sometimes pianists or people think that pianists actually get more sound only with the lid up, but it's from the hearing. So with the lid up and being able to hear everything clearly, you can actually balance better.
What do you think, Gail, standing, because you rehearsed and sitting down when we came in, and you asked us what we thought, and we were terrified to say, but we did. We said that we thought the sound was good.
No, and especially here,
Yeah.
in this hall. I've never played in here, but in many halls, we've stood. And the pianist is always much happier because you can hear the horn better.
Yeah.
And it depends on the hall. It really does. And I think you have to play the hall.
Have you ever played it other way around?
Never.
No, I've never done that either.
No.
No.
No, but I've almost always had the lid up
Okay.
because you have to hear the left hand.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, let's get on to the mouthpiece question. Thank you so much, you two. Thank you so much. I'm sure there are people, I don't know, is anyone watching? Did you guys look? Really? Oh my goodness. Well, that's wonderful. So let's keep sharing that. And
Now, before we get kicked out of
before we
here.
get kicked out of here, exactly. So thank you very much for that, you two. Oh, that was my iPhone. Thanks. Big round of applause. Come down here. You come down here. You come here, and then I'll see you out here. Right. Can we just show these lovely students once again? These are Gail, tell me about your students.
Oh, these are a few of them. and a trumpet player.
A few of them and a trumpet player. Hi, trumpet player. Aren't you jealous of our Brahms
We
horn
have
trio?
one freshman, 2 sophomore, and the rest grad students. Probably the rest of them are supposed to be in class.
Aha, well, they're learning a lot more here. Some of them are watching in class. John Dixon says, good morning from LA. Wendy Limberty in Toronto says,
Oh, sure. Hi,
hi,
Wendy.
what about the tempo of the last movement? Can you give us, what's your tempo of the last movement?
I leave it up to the pianist and the violinist. It's
I
not
agree.
hard for the horn.
Yeah.
It's they have notes.
I agree.
Lots of them to play.
What's your favorite, what's your preferred tempo? Sing it for us.
Give you breath. I think the main thing is the second movement cannot be really fast because the last movement is con brio.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that I try very hard to make sure there's a contrast between that movement and
Yeah,
the last
that's a
one.
hard one, isn't
Yes.
it? Because the
Because
second
it
movement
wants
you
to
get
go.
so excited,
Yep.
and it does want to move, and it's
Yes.
not as hard for the others as the last movement.
Right.
Except there's a couple of really hard piano leaps in
Right.
there. Look, there we are. It's nicer.
Yeah.
This is a bit delayed. So we've got people are watching this. Someone's watching on mute during a class. Very good. We like that. We like that. Hello from Brazil. Annie Bosler is watching. Hi, Annie.
Hi, Annie.
Hi, Annie. So lovely to see you. Thank you for joining us. Oh, I love Annie.
Yes, she's a tremendous
She's-
person.
Everyone needs an
Yes,
Annie in their lives.
We do.
Yes.
We really do.
Nice to see you. So the last movement, I find also that once it starts, it gets faster and faster in
Yes.
concerts.
Yeah.
What's the best way to hold that back?
Oh, I think it's part of the horn player's duty when you have the repeated eights, da, 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 just to give a little nudge,
Yeah.
just to make sure we stay there.
Where can we pull it back? Because when it gets back to the ba-dum, 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 ba-dum.
Well, when it goes to the soft area there, where
Steve
you
Mead says lots of
Hi,
love.
Steve.
Hi, Steve.
before you go back to the recap,
Yeah.
you have a retard and diminuendo, and of course you get slower when you get softer, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And you get faster when you get
Yeah.
louder.
Of
So you have to
course,
make sure.
It's our natural.
Orchestra life. But I think that's where the tempo can really reset there. And I think it's important to do that.
There's a quick question from Wendy Limberty. You know Wendy from Toronto. And she says she's approaching 60. And are there any, how different does the embouchure and the lips get? You know, we're near 60. You'll stay 30 for us.
Yeah.
But it's quite a good question, you know, especially with the Brahms. It's very tiring. At least I find the first movement tiring. Once I've got that done, I'm okay. But you don't age, Gail.
What happens is I think you have to find out, and my students should be listening, that you actually have to do more basics. And I got that concept from Bud Herseth. Bud Herseth, as he aged, he said you have to do more basics.
Yeah.
than you did when you were younger.
Dan
and if you
Gingrich-
don't do them, you notice them one day,
Exactly.
and the second day, everybody knows.
Dan Gingrich said exactly the same. He said he's noticing yesterday on the Chicago Horn Hangout. We all waved at you. We had some lovely pictures of you
I
in
tried
the section.
to, I tried to get on, but I was
Yeah.
busy in my studio.
As you are always busy, but watch it after because there was a shout out and
Okay.
and
I
there
will.
was a nice picture of you in the section. Northern Ireland, Lena, Steve Kimmins, great to see Gail on the Horn Hangouts. He worked with you on your teacher Jack Covert's retirement
That's right,
recital at
that's
Ithaca,
right, that's right.
which is absolutely lovely. So there's a lot of people out there. The problem with doing these things live on Facebook is that I can only literally see 3 questions at a time. So on our chat, on our live page, we have the whole list, so I can scroll backwards and
Wow,
forwards.
that's
So
great.
I'm not ignoring you all. If you have some questions about them, we're focusing on the Brahms Horn Trio. We don't know when we're going to be thrown out of this room. It could be in 2 minutes. It could be in 10 minutes. So make the most of it. Send in our questions. Send in highs. There's a lot of people in here in the chat. Oh, I can scroll back. That's already something. People are basically just saying hi. Brianna Danielle, one of our Horn Hangouts, she says, the room looks familiar. Hi, Sarah, Gail, and Tim. Handsome Tim is, of course, behind the camera. Can you show him your hand? There he is. Without him, none
And
of
he's
this.
still awake. It's
He's
amazing.
very excited because there's snow.
It doesn't snow in Australia
Oh.
very often.
Well, you could come over and shovel anytime. I was out there this morning.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, okay. Hugs from Steve Mead. I said that. So, greetings from London. Hello, Jesper. Are you going to attend the upcoming IHS?
I am not.
I am not either.
I'm very sorry.
I'm sorry,
But
too.
I can't remember what are the dates? Do you remember off the
No,
top of your
anyone know
head,
the
anybody?
dates? Luis Garcia is watching in Brazil.
I,
This is like a family party here.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. We're not getting to much Brahms, but everyone's saying hi.
But I think it's right when I'm supposed to be in Jackson Hole or in London, hopefully
Okay.
with you.
I
Yeah.
hope that's going to work
I
out.
hope so, too.
We are hoping. Were we allowed to even say it yet? No, probably not. Okay, we're not saying anything, but we might be in London together this summer for a very important event. Hi from Johannesburg. Selina Grafer is watching in Norway. Zay Gato, where are you watching from, says, how can you play every day at the top level? How do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice,
The
practice.
10,000 hours.
At least. Håkan
That's just a
Hardenberg
start.
said his was probably closer to 25,000.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just something. And, I'm lucky because I have all these really wonderful students, and I have to warm up with them every day. It wasn't that too bad.
Do you have a group warm-up?
No,
Okay.
I did for a while, but then I got a puppy and I couldn't do it. But I do this,
Students, puppy.
yeah.
You guys understand that, don't you?
Rugs,
Yeah.
holes. No, you stay home and take care of your puppy. No, I do this certain book every day that my teacher made us do, the Chantal scale book. And so I assign scales with them. So I play the root of the scale or play it with them. So you're kind of always kind of in it. So
And
it
you still do
helps.
that?
Yeah, every day,
Good. Everybody's nodding.
everybody.
I need to get this book. There's a question that came in. Dylan Skyhart's watching as well. Hi, Dylan. Marina Krickler says, have you either of you ever experimented with the Brahms or natural horn? Now, we just answered that a few minutes ago. You can scroll back and hear Gail playing some of the Brahms. I've experimented at home, but I would not bring that out into
I
public.
was supposed to play it last year live, and I chickened out.
I
It was
don't-
just not enough time to do both, and
There's other
you
people who can do
really,
that.
you really have to spend time. I used to do a lot of natural horn playing,
Yeah.
and so I've done all the Mozarts and Mozart Horn Quintet and the Piano One Quintet, but you really have to spend a lot of time, and every key is a different hand position.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of home
Yeah.
work, but not
Home
in
work.
public.
Dylan asked, and it's a good question, what other books would you suggest for fundamentals?
Ooh.
Yeah. Farkas is one of my Bibles.
Yeah, that, and I use a lot of exercises out of the Toira book, out of the Brophy book, out of the Jancic book, the Farkas book, and then you can just go on forever.
Have you brought out your warm-ups?
No,
your
because I would be
exercises?
sued.
Because you stole them from everyone
I
else.
steal them from everybody. Because in this one book that Daniel Coyle wrote, that Picasso said, to be a very good artist, you must steal, not borrow.
Ah, okay.
So I'm not going to know.
No, I hear you. I hear you. Aya Matson, who I thought asked fantastic questions yesterday in the Chicago Horn Hangouts, so, thank you for that. She said, do you have a mantra for daily life?
Live every day like it's your last.
Do you manage that? I try, but it's not easy.
Not easy, but at the end of the day, yes.
You have a lot of young things around you
Yeah,
now.
I do,
That must
and
keep you on your toes.
That keeps me on my toes, and sorry, there's a student that's supposed to have a lesson.
Oh,
Right
okay.
there.
This is much better than a lesson. This is much This is much better than a lesson, right?
I think it's really important to have a balanced life.
Yeah, no,
And
I
horn
agree.
can't be everything, but it can give you a lot of joy.
It can. We are so lucky to be able to, because how we play is how we are.
Some days.
Someday, yeah, well, yeah, but you know, on the bad days, those are the days that really test you. If you've got to get out there on stage,
Yeah.
you know, I tell my students, the minute you put one foot on that stage, Maria Callas
Yep.
said the audience doesn't pay to hear you try.
That's
you know, you've got to
correct.
do.
Do.
And that's sometimes hard if you're not having a great day. But today is a great day, so I don't have to play the horn. Tim Penn asks, is there anything you could comment on about the third movement of the Brahms? It's probably a lot,
boy,
but
there's a
let's
lot.
have a few words about the third movement.
Well, I think there's a new edition that Hogwood put out. Did you see that one?
I
And
didn't.
it has a lot of information in the foreword
Okay.
of this. And I don't have the score here with me today, but he has a lot of the folk songs that's related to the third movement. And, you know, it describes his mother's home. There in the wood is a little house, you know, as part of the words that she used to sing this song. And I think it's really important that you say those words as you're playing it, because it makes the emphasis of the phrase work.
I find this movement just really gets me.
Oh, absolutely. I played this one time with a pianist who is also a very good violist. He teaches both, or he has in the past at San Francisco Conservatory. And he said at the end of the third movement, there's no diminuendo. It just stops.
Yeah.
Because the heartbeat stops, and it's really stuck with me all these years. Yes, you can get very soft, but it doesn't go to niente, or he would have said it.
Yeah,
It just stops.
And then to get into the mood for the, it's almost like how much time do you leave between the end of the third movement
Right.
and the fourth movement?
Yeah, it's
I mean,
important.
if you come to the concert on Friday, someone just wrote it and said they're looking forward to the concert on Friday. You would hear it, but how much time? How do you judge that?
I leave it up to Joe. You know, he usually has a good timing sense for that.
He's great. You're both what a trio.
And
I love it.
it's important that you unwind, but it's also important to keep that going in the audience.
Yeah.
You can't let them. It might be, you know, an infirmary ward sometimes. But
Yes, it seems to be this time
this
of year.
season.
Yes, 'tis
but
the
it's
season.
important to keep.
To keep that, we
Keep
call it
the energy,
Spannung,
yeah,
this
yeah.
tension, and it's
Yep.
a tension though, isn't it,
Yeah,
that keeps it going,
it
a
is.
positive one. Kim McGill just said, could you tell us the name of the scale book again?
The Joseph Chantal Theoretical Scale Study.
Can somebody put a link to that or write it down in the chat, you guys?
It is published by Wind Music that Mr.
Okay.
Jancic put out
Okay.
many years ago.
Alexander asked, you never forget your resonant sound. Can you show us your mouthpiece? The mouthpiece question always comes in the horn hangout.
Munch.
Can you do a little bit of a zoom in there? Poor Tim, he's used to having assistants and at least three cameras, and today he has to do it all himself.
One.
So tell us about your mouthpiece. You always got to have a mouthpiece question.
Well, I think the main thing is it's the free air.
The free air.
And I got this concept from the first time I was ever playing extra with the Chicago Symphony. These students have heard the story. But I was walking down the hall thinking, oh my, what am I doing here? You know? And I heard this behind me.
I think you blew Tim's ears off.
Sorry, Tim. And I was like, whoa, who's that? And I turned on, it was Herseth,
Oh, wow.
coming down the hall, buzzing his mouthpiece. And I thought, who has the most resonant sound in the Chicago Symphony? So I had many opportunities to ask him. And he said, you have to have this resonance there because you're putting it into the
Already in the
instrument.
buzz.
Yep.
Yeah. Free buzzing, though, not mouthpiece buzzing.
Mouthpiece buzzing.
Mouthpiece. He wouldn't walk down the hall and go.
Nobody has.
Yeah.
And he used to.
And
And I can, but Mr. Jacobs would then yell at me.
yeah.
He said, no free buzzing.
He didn't
Too
like
much
that at all?
tension. Yeah. He would give a master class in a room here, and he would say, and no one should free buzz. And he'd look up at the audience and say, except I know someone here that does. And you kind of duck. But I think it's all a balance.
Yeah.
You know, I think sometimes there is too much tension in the free buzzing, but you could do it an octave lower to get the same idea.
And what do you buzz? Do you have? Do you
I
just
think you have to be able to play the entire range on the mouthpiece.
say the beginning of the Brahms fourth movement on the mouthpiece?
So it's
She's
maybe
proved
a
the
little
point,
whippy, but I think you have to be able to play the range.
Yeah.
And in the, I think it's a Brophy book, there's a exercise you can play with the piano, so you're really playing in tune and fourths. And I like that one very much. Yeah.
What about the first movement? I find my biggest challenge coming from a low horn position when I have to play the Brahms horn trio is getting the chops for the end of the first movement. I find it's never probably even occurred to Gail that it might be tiring, but
Well, it's
the end of the first movement. What do you guys think? It's tiring. All these da 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 ouch da, and big retardandos. I know the only solution I found is just blowing the air and keeping the air moving after the big fortissimo thing, and not saving any air while you're doing it.
No, right.
Because you just got to go for it, and even if you're worried about the end.
I really think you get your endurance by good air, lack of tension, and you watch the violin bow, and you just go.
Yeah,
you go
you
with
got
it.
to watching the
You
violin
just watch,
really helps.
they're moving,
Yeah.
so you move
Yeah.
your air with them, and
Yeah.
that changes everything. It's so much easier to play it with the violinist than practicing on your own.
That is such a fantastic tip that you gave. I'm going to use that. Just really playing with the bow.
Oh, yeah.
That
And
is-
you can always imagine. I mean, if you don't have a violinist with you, go watch somebody online and
Yeah.
play along with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's important.
You are such an inspiration, Gail, says Alain from Montreal. I was just in Montreal with all the horn players there. Fantastic bunch of people.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's really, really. What about finding the tempo at the beginning?
Well, I just go back to his letters. And Brahms was taking a hike in the Black Forest.
Something you can understand. Gail is a very big hiker.
And I think of that often because, he wasn't a tiny, wiry person.
He was.
So you can't go too fast and you can't go too slow because you'll stumble.
Yeah.
So I do think about that. And I think everybody should. There's variety and it's okay. I think the hardest tempo in the whole piece is picking out the poco più animato.
With the triplets, that's always
Da
a
da dum, do you go da da dum,
Da, da, dum.
or is it just a little? Or how much? And
Up
every time
poco.
I've done it, it's like a little different. It's just you kind of go with the flow, and I think it's beautiful when it's not too fast.
Yeah. Gail said something that's very, very close to my heart, and that is saying that, that she's read the letters and thinks about that. It's so important for me and obviously for you too to know the background behind the pieces that we're playing, because only then can you really, if you don't know that he's written the third movement for his mother who
That's
had
right.
passed on, you can't play it. You just can't. But it's quite shocking to have people come and just play it and not know the history. So it sounds like a preaching, but I'm just so happy you said that because that's
There are
very
letters
close.
there,
Yeah.
just like there are Mozart letters,
Yeah.
and we should be reading those, and we don't tend to do
What's the
that.
best way to find the Brahms ones?
I have a book.
Yeah. What, a proper book?
A book.
That opens up with pages?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
How wonderfully old-fashioned. I wish we had more books.
One of the best concerts I ever played was when we had a couple people read letters.
Ryan Little's watching.
Oh, Hi,
Hey,
Ryan. Read letters of Clara Schumann that she wrote to Brahms and Brahms back to
Yeah.
Clara.
You've got to
and then you
understand
played
that.
some of the
Exactly.
Brahms.
So, Clara, who played the premiere of the Brahms Horn Trio? I should know that, and I
Ooh,
forgot.
I don't know if I do
anybody,
know.
If anybody knows, write it down. But Clara Schumann played it a lot.
Oh, yes, yes. And she wrote a letter back to Brahms saying, the horn players won't play natural horn. They want to play their belt.
Yeah.
Because he was very insistent on playing it with horn, natural horn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if he'd known about our horns, then he probably would have.
Well, it's a challenge for us just to play it on the F horn, isn't it? Oh.
Yes, but I heard a performance of it played on by one of the Vienna guys. Gorgeous.
Oh, absolutely.
But they're brave, If a note goes over on a Vienna horn, there's no stopping it. It resounds for minutes afterwards. But when it works,
What a
it
beautiful
is
sound.
the most gorgeous sound, really. I'm just not brave enough to try it. It's good. You okay? A lot of people.
There's a
you've
young
got a
lady. Is it
lesson?
okay?
You're. What about you guys? What would you? You have it every day. It's swinging around to you so quick. Sit up and look good. What do you play the Brahms Horn Trio? You have a question about the Brahms Horn Trio? Anybody? If anyone has a, what would you ask? You can ask. Gail's recorded it. I've recorded it. It's a piece that we just love to play. Are you just going to sit there
We
and
are
say no?
so lucky to have this piece of music.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry, Joe, that you don't have something like this. There's a trumpet player here.
You could play. Your hands up. The only trumpet player at the back there. There you go. Oh, you got him. Oh, he's left you already. Well, there. Yeah, it's just a fantastic piece to have in our repertoire. What would you program with it? I saw that question come back. What would you program
This
with
is the reason why I'm playing the Brahms. I was going to do the Dana Wilson Trio.
it? Greg Rusa.
Hi, Greg.
Greg, hi to LA.
I was going to do the Dana Wilson Trio that he wrote for Joe and myself. And
I'd love to see that.
yeah, I'll get a copy for you.
That'd be
Yeah.
great.
I've recorded it.
Yeah.
On one of these things. And one of the very first concerts that I ever heard as a freshman in college, and I had not taken any horn lessons till I got to college, was my horn teacher and his wife, Mary Ann Covert, and John Toth, who was a wonderful violinist, played the Donald Banks, the Lennox Berkeley, and the Brahms Horn Trio, all in the same concert. Ooh. And I was sitting there going,
Yeah.
And Marianne is not terribly well, so I'm playing it for her.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's lovely.
Yep.
The Lennox Berkeley Horn Trio is also quite a challenge.
It is.
It's not
that
played
last
that
movement,
often.
it's a long.
Yeah, it really is long.
That's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I've never actually dared to put that together. I usually make the violinist and the pianist play a little piece on their own as well in a program. Because I'm a low horn, we have to save our chops. So we'll start with a trio. we do. I mean, I'm happy to even get up on that stage. I tell you, it's.
Well, I've actually played the Harbison and the Brahms together, and that's not so bad.
No,
it's not so bad. I actually can't imagine playing the Brahms and the Ligeti, which is what's supposed to be done.
Somebody's mentioning that Zachary Smith is saying there's a fainting couch behind us. There is. It's a fainting.
This is an opera room.
We just
the
saw
Black
that.
Box.
Where are we exactly? We're
in the Black Box Theater of Northwestern, the
Northwestern.
new music building.
Right. Pertinent question from Amy Sanchez. Does your puppy Apollo sing along with the Brahms?
No, but he's getting better, Amy. I had him going down half steps the other day. You can find it on Facebook.
Yes, look at it. The Gail's singing dogs. That's we had that on that was your very first horn hangout.
That was
when we
Riley.
were still doing it. Riley, bless him. You must miss him.
But Riley actually could count.
Yeah.
He actually knew when there was a rest, and then he howl, right. It was really good. But this one, she played. My friend played it for her dog, and so she filmed her dog's head going back and forth. So that's on Facebook.
Okay, you've got to get that. That was a very good question. Thank you for that. I think we want to. You've got a lesson, and we don't want a lesson. We don't want a lesson.
She has a recital, so.
How do things work here? Just explain, because we have a little horn hangout with you and John from your peak performance. And it wasn't, you know, we had Russell on camera, and
Right.
who else did second? Someone else did the second camera. And it was all very
can't
basic.
remember, yeah.
It was great. We had no lights, no
Yeah.
microphones,
Right.
but it turned out really nicely anyway. So a lot of questions were answered there. But how many students do you have here? How do people apply?
We have 21 students
That's
here.
a lot of horns.
And
9. There's 9 here. Where are the
yeah,
others?
they're all in class, I hope.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think they're all watching by the looks of it. Do the dogs have a favorite piece? They have a
No,
least
they just
favorite
go.
piece. They go.
He doesn't like stop turning it off.
Stefan Dorr's dog is exactly the same.
I mean, I've brought him to lessons. When does he start howling? When you get to a certain dynamic, and then he starts.
Poor thing. Aw. It starts with a.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
we
Jose,
rotate students.
do you know Jose Sorgob? He's
No.
third horn in the Concertgebouw.
Oh.
And he wants a lesson from you. You're his hero. Hello, Jose. He's a great horn player. Really great horn player. Concertgebouw is such a wonderful orchestra.
It is beautiful, beautiful. They're so lucky to play in that
Yeah,
hall. Wow.
totally.
And you're lucky to play in your hall.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. We are happy.
Yeah.
Gene wasn't so happy about the symphony your symphony center. He said it didn't get a lot better after the renovation.
No, after they put Mothership up there, I didn't think it made it any better.
I know. Sorry, we were talking about Northwestern.
Yep.
And your horn class.
I mean, John Bowen and I split. I see.
The class, nothing
Yeah,
else.
no. He teaches 6 each week, and I rotate. Totally rotate everybody. And I do ask the students, and they haven't had their question yet. Do you like this? Do you want to continue it this way? And every year since I've been doing it, since '98 when I came here, I was teaching with Bill Barnowitz, and all the students have said, no, keep it this way.
Yeah, with the rotation.
Yeah. And it helps me because we communicate. I run down the hall and knock, knock, knock when he's here. Can you come here? You know, so we can compare notes, or I'm doing this with a student. What do you think? Or stuff like that.
I want to come up to your studio because I want to knock on Mick's door.
Yes.
Mick Mulcahy is one of our favorite horn hangouters of all time.
Yes.
The last one we did was in the Sydney Botanical Gardens.
Oh,
Tim
that's
came
too
and
bad.
brought all his live streaming stuff. It was really bad. It was a sunny
Nice.
day. He brought his class down, and only afterwards did someone say, "You could have been arrested for that." we asked for no permission. We had live streaming
my.
cameras, and we just sat there.
Wow.
And Mick had his Australian, his sort of sun hat. What's it called? The Kuba, yeah, just his sun hat on and his sunblock all over his nose, and
Yes.
and we did the horn hangout there. So if you
Yes.
haven't seen that's it's a good one. So we're going. He's here today because
Yes.
you've got it. So we're going to go
Yeah,
up
I have
and-
to work with him today.
Yeah. Oh, what a hardship. Jonathan Hamill's turned Jonathan Hamill from Tokyo. You know Jonathan,
Yes.
don't you?
Yes.
It's really literally a family hangout today. So it was totally spontaneous. Thank you for
Well,
letting
thank
us
you.
come.
Thank
No,
you. Thank you
we
for coming.
had to come. If you're so close, and it's just lovely to see you.
It's nice to see.
To see handsome Tim.
Handsome
Can
Tim.
you just can we see you in front of? Can you just? That's dangerous, I know, because when he leaves the camera, it also. But can you just come? Can you? Can we turn it around to the students again? Yeah. You turn it around to the students, and then you could.
Just keep panning
There we
right
go.
around.
Keep panning. Right on your brass band logo. There he is. Is
And
that?
of course, we have this beautiful view out here. We
Yes.
can see Lake Michigan
I
getting
don't know
frozen.
if you can see
know?
that. He's so excited about the snow. We're going outside for a walk in a minute because it's just really
Well,
nice
it's not
out
too
there.
windy out today, so you're lucky.
No, there we go.
There you go.
We've got you. It is a little bit. I must say, I do prefer the live streams on my page because I don't have to watch it while I'm asking. Because I'm thinking, oh, okay, you could see right up my skirt a few minutes ago. But at least I could adjust that. Gail, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we will hopefully see each other in the summer.
I hope so.
I really do.
I think it's going to be
pretty incredible.
emotional.
I think so too.
Yes.
We're not saying anything, but keep an eye out, and we will be announcing it as soon as we can. And lovely to see all your lovely students. Thank you guys for coming down and experiencing a mini live horn hangout. And yeah, we didn't do that much of the Brahms, but basic stuff, and you've recorded it, so people can hear you. It's a recording with Larry.
with Larry
your
doing the
husband on
Brahms.
it.
clarinet quintet.
But it's when did you do that? 2000, sometime around
man,
then?
I don't remember.
No. But it's out there.
A
Recording
long
of-
time ago.
Yeah,
I
but
did the Mozart horn quintet and clarinet trio also.
but there's a if
Brother Brahms.
if you can't hear Gail live on Friday, you can buy the
It's-
CD. That's also quite old-fashioned these days. People don't
Yeah,
do
they
that
don't
anymore.
do that. No,
It's,
it's kind of sad.
it might even be on YouTube, but someone stole it. All my stuff seems to have been stolen and put on YouTube. But
But I love your Brahms, but I
Thank
really love this
Mason Bates.
Mason bass piece.
It's such a cool piece. That's what I put on. But I haven't played it in the same concert because the pianist would have probably throttled me. We've played it on its own with a few of the little pieces, the velvet valve pieces. Just the Mason piece. We played it at a nightclub when we were asked to come and
very
explain about the
interesting.
horn, and
That'd be
that
cool.
went down perfectly.
Oh, it'd be perfect. for that.
Perfect,
Yeah.
because it's called Watergate, and it's usually open from 11 at night till 6 in the morning.
Just like Watergate was.
Yeah, yeah, right. That's probably why it's called that. Good one. Good one. And there were people that sitting there, with their drinks and literally right up to your feet, and they adored it.
Yeah.
It made
We
them
have a
really-
couple places like that. There's one in Evanston called Space.
Then go and play the Mason
And
Bates down
that would
there.
be perfect for it.
Because Mason Bates was a complete computer and electronic music guy. He still is. He needs to write some more stuff for horn, Mason. And it was quite an experimental piece where it came out. Now it's probably normal that the pianist, sort of fiddles around under the hood for all these what do you call it? All those what do they do? They pick the strings and prepared pianos. We had long talks with Mason about that because it wasn't easy to get that.
Yeah, we couldn't actually get one of the harmonics right.
You couldn't. No, we couldn't get one of the harmonics right either. I wasn't quite sure. He never got back to us about the recording, so either he hated it and didn't want to listen to it, or Anyway,
That's great.
So Wilson from Hong Kong. Do you have a favorite? Helder wants to say, what is your favorite movement? Can you even say that of the Brahms horn trio?
Depending on the day, if it's gray skies, sometimes it is the third movement.
Yeah.
If it's bright blue, it just has to be the third movement.
Yeah.
Or the
The
fourth
fourth
movement.
movement.
Second or fourth.
The fourth. Yeah. I agree.
But it's like, for me, it's sort of seasonal.
a seasonal Brahms horn
Yeah.
trio. That's nice.
You can feel like the opening movement is kind of spring, and the snow is kind of going away, and then you get a little bit more of the flowers popping out.
Second movement is spring and summer.
Yeah. And then
Third
a little
movement
bit
is quite
more-
winter, though, isn't it?
No, not always. No. Depends if you like to ski or not.
An English summer.
Yeah. There you go.
Thank you for that. Okay. I will leave all those lovely
Great.
people there. Thank you for joining us, everybody.
Thank you.
This was a totally impromptu horn hangout, but with handsome Tim holding the reins, we can do this horn hangout magic. And thank you so much for joining
You're
us.
welcome.
Great.
Thank
So,
you.
see you guys. See you all back here day after tomorrow on the 8th for a horn hangout with Julie Lansman.
Please give my best
I
regards.
will, and the horn section of the Met, or not the whole
Oh,
horn section, but her girls
Oh,
are
yes,
coming
yes,
down.
yes.
It's incredible to have all
Yeah.
your students in your horn section.
Yeah.
So we're celebrating them and playing some opera excerpts, and then anyone in New York watching or nearby, come on down, bring your horn. You have to RSVP to Juilliard, so message me or Julie and we'll work it all out, but we want people to come down.
Fun.
And the day after we have Chris Martin.
Oh, great.
So he's just been on holiday. I hadn't heard anything from him for days, and I was thinking, oh no, he's cancelled. He's been on a Caribbean island.
Oh, that's too
So
bad.
he's going to be
That's
really
really
tanned and relaxed and ready for his horn hangout. But that's New York, so we're busy. And I invited the entire horn section of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra to Julie's party after the horn hangout, because they're
in
there
New
on
York.
Friday.
That's right, they're in New
So
York.
it's going to be quite an occasion.
Great.
But thank you so much, Gail.
Thank you.
And a round of
Yeah.
applause to you and to you.
Yeah.
And horn hangout.
Yay,
See you
Tim.
soon. Bye.